you would like to use the ebook, because the ebook is more like where we will use those, and this will be a short one. You can see here it is introduction to tell you what is a reporting and what is analytics means for Genesys Cloud CX product. Okay, for Genesys Cloud CX product, and this is a very short one. I will try to finish this one, and we will have a 15 minutes short break. Okay, so let's have a look. Actually, very easy to understand. So that is why you need to attend. That is almost like for any product, no matter Genesys one or any other company's product. If you use that, you will always know you need to use the feature itself. But at the end, their service almost need to provide you a feature that will be this reporting and analytics. Why? Because this will give you a capability to monitoring actually how your service working, right? For this case, you will be able to monitoring how the contact center working either at real time, or you want to generate some reports, furthermore give to your boss, okay, to review weekly, monthly, or whatever. So that will be the idea. So for first thing, let's have a look this new video, okay, developed by Genesys. So for this 1 minute video, it will summarize for all the key features coming from these supervisor tools, okay. That will be the thing we need to cover for today, okay. Let's have a look.
Genesys Cloud offers various tools and features to monitor and observe your contact center's real-time and historical performance and associated data, and alert you of key metric changes that require your attention. These features include dynamic views, exported reports, dashboards, and alerts. Dynamic views help you monitor data for a specific contact center aspect, such as agent and queue performance, and drill down into the details. Exported reports provide historical information about your contact center's performance over a specific period. Dashboards display real-time information on specific metrics per your requirements. Alerts notify metric changes requiring your attention the moment they transpire. These analytic features help you efficiently run your contact center and address any issues head-on. In this course, you'll learn how to access and utilize each feature.
So, okay, so that will be the 4 major categories we will look at for each, okay? 4 major categories. You can see here this one. So, dynamic views, performance dashboard, how to export reports, okay? That is, I personally like to say how to generate a hard copy report, right? A file, furthermore, either PDF or CSV file, okay? That will be the report part, and alerts, okay? Alerts. So this will be something I always want to mention. When you see alert or alarm for Genesys Cloud CX platform available for you to configure, remember, okay, nothing about infrastructure level. That is not something goes wrong for your contact center. Alert or alarm anywhere we mentioned in the ebook for the cloud CX, it means only for what? Some statistic value you cares about as a supervisor or manager, not because, furthermore, the SIP server have an outage, something like that. No, okay, because that is not your job. Genesys need to make sure almost no downtime for an entire year, okay? That's not your job. So for alerts, this is nothing wrong. Furthermore, you can configure an alert as a supervisor, say, I'm a customer service queue manager, okay? I want to configure an alert to notify me, send me an email or in-app message, or send an SMS to my phone when the average waiting time for customer service queue go over than 2 minutes. That means my customer waiting there too long. I need to know why. Okay, where is my agent? Why not have my customer waiting let them waiting too long? Okay, so this is some kind of alerts you try to set up. Okay, so I always want to mention alerts is not something wrong, just means something you cares about. And we will go for one by one for this particular bigger feature. Okay, and this will be the scope for today. Okay, and actually I'm not sure if I can demo this alerts for you or not, because maybe today we don't have enough permissions. I will give it a try, okay? If not, I will show you the screenshot, okay? That is not that hard. But other than that, we will learn something about what? These four major categories, okay? The first one is called dynamic views, okay? Dynamic views. Like the name, it is what? Real-time metrics, okay? So similarly, like what I just showed you all together is a view. The name is what? Queue activity view. For that view, you are seeing the agents activity working with your customer. That is a type of what view? Dynamic view. It is no latency. You can monitoring at real time, at runtime. And a performance dashboard. Usually you can just refer that as a what? Dashboard, okay, dashboard. So that will be something you can build and put in some widgets for each of the dashboard you build. Also, okay, this is a real time. Okay, each widget you can show the real time value. Okay, for example, average waiting time for a particular queue, you can add a widget to show that number. Okay, and usually a dashboard you will build for what kind of thing? You will make that to a full screen and then put that on a big monitor. I personally will think you will use that as what? You will hang up that big monitor on your company wall, okay? So you can consider something like a wallboard, okay, wallboard. So what do you need to use that for usually? You actually build a very interesting dashboard that is, for example, queue related for all the key metrics you cares about for customer service queue only, because your department is the customer service department. So what you can do, you can hang up that big monitor on your customer service room, right? And then when your manager walk into the room, he will see that dashboard very clearly to know if everything working fine or not. Okay, we will build one dashboard today to see how to build that one. And for this afternoon, we will learn how to generate a hard copy report based on the customization you have applied, okay? Either on demand or recurring, okay? You can do either way, okay? And alerts is another interesting thing I will try to show you if possible, okay? But it is definitely possible for if you have any other watch machine still valid for you, okay? For this one, we may have a lockdown permission, but you can do the same practice on any other watch machine, okay? Or even from your company, okay? Because this alert is a configuration to get some threshold notification, okay? That's fine. You are not changing any of your contact center configuration. That is just what is alert. When something you cares out of the threshold you define, you can say what notification channel I want to get notified. Okay, that is alert thing. So that will be the four key features we need to learn for today. Okay, for today. And for here, you can see here, this is a screenshot for one type of a dynamic view. Okay, we have many different type of dynamic views. We will go for each one in a detail level. This will be a major job for this morning, okay, before the 1 hour long break. And talking about the dashboard, and you can see here, there is a list of dashboard created by the coworkers, by your company colleagues. And this is an example screenshot for one of the dashboard. You may want to click the full screen button here, right? And put that on a big monitor and hung up on a wall, okay? That will be the thing. For example, this example screenshot is what kind of dashboard? You can see the name, collections and customer service queue dashboard. Okay, so it focuses on that two queues, and that will be a dashboard from the screenshot. It built it with 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 different type of the widgets using different graphic statistic chart to show to revealing the patterns for your company data, right? And we will learn about something how to generate a report. They call this is how to export it reports this afternoon. Okay, that will be the thing we will learn how to generate reports. And for the alerts, you can see here, this is a alert rules panel. Okay, you can see here currently we have 4 alerts configured You can see even in the definition, it simply let you know when this alert will be triggered, okay? You can see here for this one, when voice waiting for customer support queue go over than 300 seconds, it will be notified to some people, okay? If you click onto the detail level, you will see it will notify who in what channel, for example, in-app notification, SMS, or email, okay? So this will be alerts. We will have a look if we can show you one later, okay, when we come to there. And we will spend a lot of time today to learn how to do customization, okay? Because either for the views, dashboard, or reports, for each of the company people, okay, you may have different requirements to build a dashboard you like, okay? So that is usually we'll talk about what? Customization, okay? How can I do that? If I don't need that metrics, can I remove that? Can I change the look and feel, layout, whatever? So that will be the thing, okay? Customization for both of the views, for example, something like this, or the reporting part, okay, the file, a PDF menu or a CSV, PDF file or CSV file for your reports, okay, how to do the customization. We will talk about this for today. I think that will be actually the major thing for today, because you can always clicking around from the performance menu here to play around for the default views. But why you need to attend the class for today? Actually, you need to learn how to do the customization. That is the only thing, I think, most important thing you need to learn, okay? So this will be the thing. So let's have a quick learning check and we will have our first 15 minutes break, okay? 2 questions. Please leave your answer in the chat box, okay? Give a try even you are not sure which one is the correct. Should not be very difficult, okay? What is the primary purpose of using analytics workspace in Genesys Cloud? Very easy to understand. Why you attending the class for today? Definitely try to monitor your contact center, right? Either real time or historical information. For the I generate a monthly report for over last 30 days. Give me a report. That is why you want to use, right? Move on to the next question, number 2. Which of the following states the purpose of exported reports? Why you need to generate some reports? Reports usually means what? Not usually. Reports is actually what kind of data? Is that real-time data? Definitely, it is a historical data, right? To do what? Usually, I think you will call that is a BI, business insight analysis or whatever. That is why, right? You need historical data information. That will be the thing, okay? Number 2, okay? So this is a very simple chapter, okay? And we will have a 15 minutes break, but I want to show you first. You can see here, chapter number 2 actually will be the largest chapter for today, okay? So actually, if we finish chapter 2, actually we finish all the major job for today, okay? So we will go into this chapter when we have our finish our first 15 minutes break, okay? So let's take a 15 minutes break and then we will start from there. But analytics thing, okay? Because we will learn every different views, and for this afternoon we will use those views to generate reports, okay? So let's start. So first thing, I will start do the demoing for all the ebook thing rather than reading this kind of contents. You can do that by yourself in the future, right? So actually I will demo everything for you first, and then I will check anything left there in the ebook. So let's have a look. When you first time click the performance menu, okay, when you click here, you will go to this workspace place. And for this, if this is your first time to go in, okay, this will be a landing page, looks like this, okay. And for here, you can consider this is more like a browser, how you use the Chrome browser. Similar thing. You can have tab, also you have tab in the workspace. And if you want to open more, simply just click this plus sign symbol, you will open another one, okay? So this is exactly like how you use your browser. So no learning curve, I would say. You will see similar operation you can apply for the type. For example, close this one, or close all tabs, or close all other tabs, okay? Same as how you use the browser, okay? And only one thing you need to remember, okay? This is, I think, not very kind of useful, but this is the kind of thing we try to let you know, okay? When you have a workspace for the first time, you will see this new tab, okay, empty one. And for this, you can choose any views listed under this contact center container. For example, if I open queue activity view, one thing we want to let you understand is this won't pop up a new view for you, okay, not a new tab. And if this is empty one, when you click on here, you will see it is replacing your new tab, the empty one. So how about if you want to be able to open another one? Either you can close this one, right? It will become empty again, or you just simply click the plus sign button again to pick any other view you want, for example, skill performance view. So now I have two views like how you use a browser. One is queue activity view, one is skills performance view. And say if you are the supervisor, you want to keep using these two views. If you don't close that, for next time when you log into this performance workspace, it will be still here, docked here, okay? Unless you close that, okay? That is one first thing we try to let you understand how to use the workspace, this tab place, okay? Second place, it will be here. You can see at the left part, you have many different things allow you to pick. So the first category is called contact center. This will be this chapter number 2. We will focus on all of those views one by one to let you have a look what you can do on top of that each particular view. Okay, that will be the major job for chapter 2. And also for this chapter, we will build our first dashboard. Okay, this is under this dashboard container. Maybe you have a question. What is a dashboard? Dashboards. Why you just say dashboards? Why you have a container nested with one option? Because again, you don't have enough role and permissions for today. Okay, you may see more than that under this container. For dashboard related configuration, we blocked some operation to be seen here. Okay, so dashboard will be another place. We will build our first dashboard later when I come to there. And also, see, there's another section called my performance. See this container? You can see here, my development, my evaluation, my interactions. So this will be the place usually for who? For agents, okay, themselves. So if you are the agent, okay, not a supervisor, manager, or administrator. So if you are actually the guy who need to be on call to answer customer phone calls, you can go into here, okay, to check your performance, okay, only. So that is everything, a view only for yourself related statistic value. For example, my interactions, you will be able to see all the interactions you have been processed with. Okay, so this will be this container. And do you remember we need to demo one thing? Alert. Okay, it is under which container? Other. Okay, you see here alert rules. I just want to check if I think I cannot demo that for today because I don't have the create alert rule permission. Okay, I don't have that permission. I will show you screenshot later. Okay, or from any other virtual machine if I have. But this will be the place for where you can configure the alert rules. And that is all under which place? Analytics workspace. Okay, this one. Okay, I think you can understand something like as a supervisor or manager or any reporting analytics developer, most of the time you only need to go into the performance and the first one, okay, workspace, okay, workspace. So this will be the place. So moving on to the right part, you see here, the name is save. So what does it mean? What does that mean? Save. So this will be all the customized views. If you have any, it will be listed here, okay? So for example, as a supervisor, you created a customized agent performance view. So I will just randomly adding one more statistic value. For example, ACW. Do you remember what is ACW? That is after call work, okay, statistic value. So I want to add in one more matrix, and actually I don't care the answer. I remove one and I save that. This is just quick demo, okay? I will talk about all this later in detail. And you can see here for this view, I already modified a little bit, right? I added ACW, right? And I removed the answer statistic value from this table already, okay? Suppose this is the one you want to keep, reuse again and again in the future. How do you do that? Save that as a new view, okay? A saved view. So just click on this icon. I can give a new name. Usually I would say you will save that under your name. For example, I will say this is Han Agent Performance View, okay? And then what I can do, I can just save that, okay? Save that. And you can see here, the view name changed from the Agent Performance View to Han Agent Performance View. So if I close this one, you will see it appeared where? It actually appeared at this save view part, okay? So this will be a listed view that is customized by yourself, okay? And you can reuse that again and again in the future, and you do not need to every day. You need to go to agent performance, do some modification, and start using that, okay? This is by yourself. So this is this place. And also for each of this view, you can see what? Base, right? You can see actually this view is built on top of which original view, okay? Although this will be all the things pre-offered by Genesys, and you can always do some customization. We will go for the detail level for any customization you can do for each of this view later, okay? But that's all for what? What is a workspace, okay? Analytics workspace, how to use this place, okay? And moving on to the next, we will talk about very first thing, a dashboard, okay? Remember, you can also think something like a whiteboard you need to build. And now let's first time go into the dashboard place, okay? So when you go in here, actually, you see many dashboard already created by your coworkers, colleagues. Because remember, today we all log in to a one log organization. That is what? This Frata Global, okay? You can see some people already created some different dashboard. You can see from the organization level, okay? So for example, let's just open one, okay? Let me see. For example, this one, I just randomly open one, okay? So actually, this is what view. It is a customer service overview for September only. Okay, I think this is a view created by any other people. You can see here, average handle time for this week. Okay, you can see the time range. This owner created is based on a week range. It is what? 8 minutes. That is quite long actually, okay? Already over 2 minutes. That's not good, right? And this will be the list of the agents who work for the customer service queue. You can see here, this is a real-time one. You can see here, it is ongoing, okay? Okay, this agent become idle, okay? So that will be the thing, real-time one. And with some kind of statistic metrics, you as a supervisor, you may want to put in, okay, build in. And this is a bar chart for success call, I think, rate, okay? You can see here, how many call have a success ending. Oh, I think this could be a wrap-up code, okay? Anything, okay? This will be what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 widgets built for dashboard. And do you remember? You can always do what? click on full screen button. That is always, I want to say, put on a big monitor and hung up on a wall, okay? Or any place in your office. I think you will always show on one of a big monitor somewhere on one of your desk, okay, for monitoring thing. So this is a thing called dashboard, okay, dashboard. So let's try to build one, okay, quite similar, a simple dashboard. How to do that? So when you go to the dashboard, this place you will see easy, right? Click new dashboard, give a name, okay? For example, what I will say, this is a customer service one, okay? Customer service queue, okay? For example, that is just a simple dashboard name I give. And after I click create button, you see here, it will be an empty dashboard, right? Okay, empty dashboard. And you can see here, start adding widget you want. You have many different widget type you can pick to, okay? So usually I will give a text widget at the top to describe the purpose for this dashboard, why I need to use that. So for example, this is a Go, right? Go widget, okay? So the display text, I will just say the Go, maybe something like this. The AVG waiting time for customer service queue should under 2 minutes, okay? So suppose this is this dashboard job, okay? And you can do some UI layout. I want to display that as a full width or not, depending on your choice. Furthermore, I choose to full width and I save that. So I get a first thing. When I open this dashboard, I know what it try to monitor with. Okay, this is just a very simple example. You can try to build many different widgets by yourself later, okay? And add another widget. For this one, I want to monitor the average waiting time for customer service queue. So customer service AVG time. So for the moment, this will be the widget title. And for now, what I need to use? I need to use a metric, right? Metric. And for this, it will first ask you for what type, right? Actually, what target you want to checking for that. You have queue, user, work team, wrap up, flow outcome. So for this kind of metric, we try to use what? Queue, okay? Then you will be able to choose which queue that exist in your organization. So for this one, we try to build for customer service one, right? Customer service queue. So add that. And after that, you already put a target. It will ask you what kind of statistic metrics you care about for this customer service queue. And then you'll go to a very huge category with 3 major different statistic type. One is count-based, right? For example, ACW, and some other things that is counting by number, right? How many answered, right? For the that, and a percentage, like the name it is, for the abandon rate, answer rate. So anything that is a percentage thing, that is another type of statistic metrics type, okay? Which one we will go for? It will be a time-based one, right? For example, average waiting time will be one of that statistic value I cares about for this example. So I just add that in, okay? And for here, you have many other configuration for the layout, okay? And for the time period, remember? The one we see from any other student, they create a week long, I think. And also for medium time, you can say, okay, for this queue, what kind of channel you want to check with, okay? For today, because our bots only simulate for voice one. So I will only do a voice related thing to check the average waiting time. So after I save that, you can see here currently for the customer service queue, for that simulation queue, the average waiting time is what? For today, up to now, is 28 seconds, okay? That's not bad, okay? 28 seconds. So what you can do, you can build as many as you want. For example, I put another widget to show all the agents who working for this particular customer service queue. You can keep adding the information you want. And there's one more thing I want to demo for here. Suppose you are having one widget like this is a digital number, right? A numeric number. So actually you can set threshold on top of that. So this is called a warning thing, okay? Warning. So remember the goal is what? Waiting time for customer service queue should under 2 minutes. So actually I want this color can change from the blue color to an orange color if that go over the 120 seconds, right? So as a supervisor, I will be notified very obviously from the color change. And because I want to trigger the color change, currently definitely not over 2 minutes, okay? So I will set a threshold for 20 seconds, just trigger the color change for this example, okay? So I will just say above 20 seconds. Okay, 20 seconds. You can see here, actually you can keep adding warnings. So for different threshold, you have different color, okay? But for this one, I just try to show you one color change. So after I save this, you can see the color change to the orange color because it go over than 20 seconds, right? 20 seconds. So that will be the thing. I'm demoing for you how to create a dashboard, how to use different widget type, and of course, metric-based widget type. How can you choose the target and choose the metric statistic value type, and also you can apply on what? Warnings, okay? So this will be one of the simplest dashboard I just created, okay? I just created. So now let's have a look, actually, okay? So after that, if I go back to the menu, which one is the one I created? Can you identify? Actually hard because we are all using the same name with different student ID, right? You see here. Actually, these are 3 different people. So which one is my one? If you still remember the name. I even forgot that. I give a customer service Q1, right? This is the one. This is the one I just created a few seconds ago. So usually I think this not will be a problem because of what? Because we have the same name. Usually within your company, you may have different one, okay? So if I check my student ID 7280, okay? So this is the one, right? This is my one. So you can see here, by default, after I create a dashboard, you see this icon? You see this indicator symbol? It will be what mode? Private, okay? You see here, this dashboard is private, okay? Remember, first thing, who created the dashboard will be automatically considered as the owner for this dashboard. So I created this one, okay? So I will be the owner. So I'm the owner means what? I can do whatever thing. I can delete that even, okay? You can see here, when I click on this option, I can delete that. But can I delete any other view dashboard? No, I will not get that option, okay? So that will be the first thing. So who create the dashboard? You take the full control, okay? You can do whatever, even delete that. Second thing, when you first time create a dashboard, the default mode will default to the private one. So by private, it means only you as yourself can see that, okay? So actually, if any of you already log into this Flutter Global from the watch machine, you actually won't see this view, okay, in the list, this dashboard in the list, okay, because it is private. So that comes to the third thing, okay? You can hover over to click on this place. You will be able to choose 3 different modes because you are the owner, okay? Again, because you are the owner for this dashboard. By default, it is private. You can change to public, okay? Public means what? For any internal employee, remember, public doesn't mean you can share this dashboard with your customer, okay? Not that public, okay? Public means any user in the Genesys Cloud CX platform in your organization, they will see that, okay? They will see that. You can see I changed the eye icon from close to open, okay? So then you will be able to see from your dashboard to see the one I created, okay? That is another thing. And how to share with a certain amount of your coworkers. You pick who can see and who cannot see. For example, I want to add my favorite island height, okay? My coworkers, I can add any other people. Let me see if I have any other people. For example, Chris. Yeah, okay. So for example, how about these two people only can see the dashboard for the one I created for customer service queue. I save that, okay? So after I save that, you can see here, it is changing to this kind of symbol. It means you shared with a certain amount of your employees, okay? They can see that, not everyone. Can a user with higher security role to see the private view? No, okay? No any people, okay? This is not controlled by the role, okay? And permissions. That is for dashboard. If you are the owner, you can control that, okay? No kind of a master guy, okay? And for here, you can see I shared with a certain amount of people, okay? I shared with certain amount of people. And one more thing, okay? One more thing. So suppose if you are not the owner, but you like, for example, like this guy created this dashboard, what can you do? You can do the duplicate, okay? You can click onto this duplicate button. It will copy that, okay? Generate exactly one. Although, because you are not the owner, you cannot do the edit or remove to work on top of that. But because this guy willing to show you, willing to share the dashboard with you, then you can do what? You can duplicate any dashboard you are able to see here, okay? You are able to see here and start building on top of that, okay? Start building on top of that. So when the owner left the company, okay, this is a quite common question asked by some other student before. So remember, okay, say if I left the company, what happened for this this dashboard I created? It will be not showing here in the list anymore, okay? It won't be deleted. It will just put in a inactive view, okay, state. So that will be not showing in the list, okay? Is that okay for Rain? Yep. Yep. Not sure you understand. So remember, okay, an idea. So for your company data, from Genesys point of view, we never delete something, okay? We never wipe out. How can you delete? We never delete, okay? We never delete. So when your people left a company, okay? So the view, for example, this one will not showing here, means from the UI level, okay? From the UI level, but you will keep that data for your historical auditing, right? Because for any company, you actually, when a person left the company, you never wipe up the data, right? Because you need to know who worked with you before, who created something before, what is the thing he left there. It will just be stored in your database, but not showing here anymore, okay? You as the company yourself in the future, maybe you need to decide if you want to wipe out that from the database by yourself. But by default, Genesys does not do any deletion. It will just put that in an inactive state and it won't show up in here anymore, okay? I don't think delete is a good idea, okay? So the credentials is tied to the employee that is active in the application, and when they leave they are inactive but still existed in the database, of course, okay? So today I cannot show you because I don't have the permission to see the people management menu, But give a try if you attend for any other class. Give a try as an administrator how to delete people. You will see the thing. Is that a real deletion? When you do the deletion, it will ask you for a reason why you want to remove people. But actually, when you click the delete button, that means what? That people will become to an inactivate user kind of directory data, not a meaningful one anymore, but you still have those people's information. That is a thing. You need to know who use work for you. If you wipe out, how can you know? If this person do something wrong, can you trace it back if you wipe out that? No, okay? Remember, the idea is almost any historical information happened for your company. That is not something like customer audio recordings you will try to delete every 60 days. This is your company, how to say, properties. Why you want to delete? I think if you delete that, you will get a problem asking from your boss, say, why you wipe out that critical information. Can you restore it? That is the correct reason, okay? You can restore that. For Joe's, you can restore that. So that is the reason, okay? So for those kind of thing, actually will be all your employees' footprint, right? Why, if you delete that actually from the database level, I don't think that is a thing you should do, okay? So that is the thing. In the future, for example, I left the company, I created a view, a dashboard, this one. You as the administrator, okay, you can restore that, but not from this UI level, okay? You won't see that restore button, okay? Not see that restore button. So that is out of the scope, but you can do from the API control to restore something is not showing from the UI, okay? It's not showing from the UI. Yes, you can restore that. For Yap, you still can see that. So that is the idea. We don't delete anything, okay? So even for people left your company, by the time you click a deletion, you can think like that if you are an engineering background before. So that will be what? From the database, for the people who left the company, there will be a marker, say, inactive or whatever, a marker, okay? So that people will have that data records, okay? So that will be not showing in your database anymore, not database, not from this UI level, just from the UI level, but you can restore that. Get the historical information for all of your past employee. Is that okay, guys? So let's keep going, okay, for this thing. And also, as what I said, you have many employees in your company. So suppose if each of the user create 10 dashboard, you will have many dashboard in this place, right? Dashboards list. So usually for your company, you may have several pages of dashboard created by different users. So you need to use this favorite icon, right? That is easy to understand. I just like this dashboard created by Raphael. I like the one for the one I just created for myself. Suppose this will be the two things you marked, and usually for the best practice as a supervisor or manager, what you will do for daily work. I think usually you will just filter that out by the favorite one, right? So this is my favorite dashboard. So getting out of any other noise dashboard you don't care about, right? So that will be the thing. So mark the one you like. Doesn't matter if you create that or any other people because they are already waiting to share to you, okay? So furthermore, this will be your daily dashboard work page, okay? That will be the last thing I want to show you, okay? You can do some kind of categorize, okay? Filter thing, okay? For the one. So that will be the thing for dashboard, okay? Dashboard. So I will go back to the ebook to check anything I missed here. So workspace, right? I talk about the different views, right? Different sections. What does that mean? And I won't go in here. This is try to tell you how to work with dynamic views, how to save a new view. I already showed you, okay? That is nothing. Rename the view or delete the view because you create the saved view. Very easy. And this will be the place when I click the save button, right? I can save a view with a name I give for a time period. Talking about the dashboard, I create an example dashboard, something like this. This could be some other people created one. You can either open that, right? Or you create a new one by yourself. And you have many different type of the widget type. You can create these, okay? Remember, this come to the place as what I mentioned before the break. Give a try by yourself. Try to build a dashboard to see if you can do some useful dashboard for your company, okay? Give a try for that. And I talk about how to give a name for dashboard, how to open a new dashboard. You can even duplicate for any dashboard that you are not the owner, right? And that will be the thing. And I demoed how to add widget one by one, okay? So that will be the ebook. Try to let you understand, but I prefer to demo that for you. And remember, also, I demoed how to add a warning, right? Add a warning, that is something you care about. You want to get a color change, right? A color change when out of the threshold range you define, okay? That will be the thing. So, and talking about managing the performance dashboard, you can either rename, duplicate, or share or delete, right? And you can mark something your favorite, okay? You can make that as a favorite dashboard, also from this place, okay? This is quite common, simple. That will be the thing. Okay, so that will be all the things talking about two plays. One is what? One is workspace, right? One is dashboard. So we talk about two things up to now. One is this dashboard place. One is what is that for this workspace you can use. Okay, so far we haven't go into which part, the views, right? The contact center containers. We haven't go in there, okay? But we finished talking about the analytics workspace and how to build a dashboard already, okay? So from now on, we will go into one of the major things for this chapter 2 is go for the views listed here one by one in a detail level, okay? So that will be the goal for now, okay? So let's take another 15 minutes break, and then what I will do, okay? I will talk about, based my experience, I will make a summarization for all of you rather than go with the ebook, because this is my personal summarization for you to quickly understand how those views working, okay? I will give you an introduction, and then I will spend a lot of time for the queue related views. You see here we have 3 different views, and all other views will be same, okay? Will be same. So I will spend a lot of time go into the queue views, and then we will go for one by one. You will find that is all similar and easy to understand, okay? So that will be the goal before the 1 hour long break. So after the 15 minutes break, I will talk the summarization, and then we will understand one of the most important view is queue related view, because usually your supervisor and the manager will care about queue level information. So after I talk about queue level view, then we will go for the lunch break. Okay, so that will be the plan. But for now, let's take another 15 minutes break. if you have combined, can you let me know? Cool. So let's keep going, okay? So before we go for the 1 hour long break, so I will try to finish all the queue related views, okay? Queue related views. And before we start, so as what I promised, I need to give you some kind of summarization to understand because there are a lot of views. So what's the differences between each of view? You can quickly tell. Let's have a look, okay? So you can see here, there are some views ended with the name of performance. You see here, agent performance view, campaign performance view, queue performance view, okay? So first thing, for any view that is a performance view, that means it is including the historical information, okay? So how about if I go into, for example, a queue performance view, okay? Queue performance view. So what you can see here, for a queue performance view, first thing, you will see a place that is a date time picker, okay? You can see here, if I click onto this place, at the moment, okay, at the moment, you can see here the date is today, okay, because we are in the APAC zone, and we are logged into a US organizations. I think they are still at on the September 9th, midnight or something. Haven't crossed to today, okay? So we are, I think, already 10th of September, but that should be your organization's day, okay? So today. And for now, if I click onto this date time picker, what you can see here, you can pick a time range, okay? You can pick a time range. For example, a preset thing, okay? You can see here today, yesterday, this week, last week, or previous 7 days or whatever. This is a predefined time range. And if you don't like that, you can even just select by yourself, starting from which date at what time and at which date at what time. So first thing, what is this place? You are selecting a time period, okay? Time period, a time range. So this will be the first place. When you will be able to see this for performance related view, okay? Because that is a historical one. And second thing, okay? For any performance view, you will see a summary view, okay? You can see here, this place, okay? So this is what? Because it is a performance view. Furthermore, this one is a queue performance view. At this place, it will list all the queues your company have. And what is this part? This summary is for what? For all the views, right? How many calls offered for this date, right? This will be the number. What is the answer rate, abandon rate, whatever. Remember, okay? So this will be the thing. You will be only seeing from which place for any performance view. And third thing, for this top bar summary part, if you hover over on each one, you will be able to click onto there. For example, I click on here, you will get a bar chart, okay? A bar chart, a statistic graphic view, okay? Graphical view. So for this one, it will be depending on the time range you select it, because for this default one, it is for today, so it will be a time range for today, okay? For example, if you do a week time range, it will be 7 days, right? So this is a time series chart for a bar chart for a particular summary statistic matrix to show in here for you, okay? Again, you will see this from here for any performance view, okay? For any performance view. And then move on to the next part is this place, okay? This place. This place is the statistic value for all of the queues. If that is a performance view, then it will be all the, if that is a queue performance view, it will be all the queues. If that is an agent performance view, that will be all of your agents. And this will be the predefined statistic value showing you here, okay? Showing you here. And now I will start talking about customization, okay? It will be same for any other view, okay? So please listen carefully. I will only talk about this, I think, once. Only need to talk about this once, not for any other view, okay? Because we will do this again and again and again, okay? So suppose this Q performance view is the one you want to work on top of and build that like a customized version for you to use in the future. And how do you do? First thing, where you do the customization start point, a time range, right? You can already do that for the previous 7 days at changing the range, okay? You are already changing the statistic value computed with, right? So the range changed, okay? You can see here, furthermore, let me hover over on this answer rate again, actually. I think, let's see, okay. I think it's still calculating, don't let me click. Let me refresh. I don't know why it doesn't show me the icon to ask me to click. And let me try any other thing. This last week. I will check that later, okay? It should be 3 days. Today is September 10th. Let me change to September 6th to September 9th. How about like this? I think maybe it needs some time to show me the graphical thing. But anyway, the first place is what? The daytime range, okay? Daytime range you want to choose to compute it on top of, okay? Does it have to do with the permissions? No, I don't think so, because by default, that will be today. I can click. I cannot click anymore. Interesting. Let me close this, okay? Reset this. So again, this is a reset button, okay? For any customization you work with and you want to go back to the default one, that is the reset button, okay? Reset button. I got this clickable again. Actually, let me change a date. I can still click. Do last week. I can click. I don't know what happened there. Maybe my browser have some kind of glitch. Okay. Anyway, so you should be able to do that without any kind of permission issue. Okay. So you can see here, actually, this is a 7 days time range. So then your bar chart, you can see here that will be changing to each day. Okay. Each day. That is just some extra thing I want to show you. Suppose, okay, this will be the very first customization. For a view, you can choose a time range you would like to view with, right? And that will be usually for a performance view because that including the historical information. So after that, okay, after that, you will be able to start to the second place to do the customization. That come to this place, okay? So for this place, by default, Genesys will carefully select some important metrics that is usually mattered for example, for queue statistic control. Okay, so that will be the thing. But suppose as a supervisor or manager, you don't like these values, you don't care some of those statistic values, click here. Okay, so this will be pick columns. That will be another place start doing the customization just for your business. Okay, for your organization. So what you can see here, by default, some statistic value is checked, so that is why you see there. But you have all the permission to do whatever. For example, I don't care AVG hold. Okay, I don't care this statistic value. But for my company, I cares about AVG dating time. Okay, AVG dating time, I cares about max wait time. So then you can add or remove. Okay, remember and save that. Okay, so this is something similar you already see. Actually, you can see here, we have two simulation network for a simulation network for two queues for today's organization, that is collections queue and customer service queue. So actually the new one I add in actually can give you some information for max waiting time. Actually, you can see customer service queue is there's a people wait more than 8 minutes. Okay, so that is the thing. For collections one, the max wait time is around 2 minutes. So that is some customization I made. Okay, and also you can hover around here. When you see a hand icon, you can change the order. Okay, for example, I drag, I can change the whole this column to, for example, to replace to add here. Okay, and abandoned will be moved to the next place. You can rearrange the order. Okay, that will be the second thing. And then, okay, let's move on to another most important customization place is this one. Okay, this one, toggle filters panel. Okay, toggle filters panel. And when I click onto here, you can see how many things you can work on top of this. At the very first category, it is called interactions. All the things can be worked as an interactions filter. So actually, did you notice? Okay, did you notice by default what it will be? You see here, there is a phone icon here. So actually, the default queue performance view already applied a filter, say what? So those information is actually for what? For voice interactions only. Okay, so there for the default one, there's already a default filter. Supposing you want to see all the interactions that is for voice. Okay, so that is why you can see here for medium time, the voice is selected. And for example, as a supervisor, you cares about any another type of interaction, for example, chat message interaction. Okay, to be included into this queue performance view. That means what? I want to get all the statistic value for any interaction type, either voice or chat. Okay, digital channel. And then after I click on here, this will be the place for you to see all the filters applied for this particular view you already customized with. Okay, and how many different things you can work. I will go for only some major features. Okay, you can have a play with all the things. You can see here, just for the interactions filter, you can have many things. One of skills. I really don't know for this simulation network, for this organization, what skills we have. Let's try. Okay, there is a skill called Asia skill. Do you remember what is skill mean? If you don't, please go to the other class. Okay, this is a type of ACD skills. And that means I want to filter the interactions out based on any cause. Is requiring my agent to have ACD skills. One skill is Asia. Okay, so you can see here. Now there are about 1,000 calls processed from the customer service queue answered by the agent who have the Asia ACD skill. You already filter out a lot. You can see even collections queue have no calls have a skill required for Asia. Okay, so you already do a lot of filtering. So I won't keep apply the filters. I think we will don't see any data if I do too much filter on top of that. So you can see here for the more direction, inbound or outbound. If I only care inbound, okay. And also for the more initial direction, Or I want to filter by languages, any calls processed. Let me see. English spoken, for example. That will be your language skill, right? You see here, drop down to 588 calls. That is requiring your agent can speak in English, okay? There are more than that. You can filter by phone number. That will be considered as DNIS number, okay? Any other things, there are a lot of things. And another interesting one is what? RAPA codes, okay? If you don't know what is RAPA code, please attend the other two classes. This is so important thing, okay? This is so important thing. RAPA code is very, very useful, and you can filter out for any call ended with selection of a type of RAPA codes. As a supervisor, you may want to look at. And also for the interactions tab, you'll see here, what is this? Routing requested, routing used. What is this? This is your routing strategy. Okay, you see here, standard routing, predictive routing, whatever, bullseye routing. So this is the thing we covered for you when you set up a queue routing configuration using ACD idea. This will be the filter. You can even say for any interaction, I only care, for example, that is routed by bullseye routing. You can uncheck for those things. Okay, so this is all at what level interaction filters. That is interactions level. Okay, a lot of things you can apply for. So this will be already some filters I put in. Okay, so then it will be what? This is already a very customized version. Maybe for one of your business idea as a BI analysis, right? Business insight analysis. You want to check for those interactions, what happened. Maybe that is the thing you want to do the filter on top of. And that is just the first section, interactions related. Moving on to the next is survey. Okay, survey, the most survey type. If that is followed with a web survey or voice survey, so for anything, okay, survey response status, full, partial, okay, this will be something like a post interaction thing, okay? When we finish interaction, if you have a web survey followed after, so you want filter any interactions have that thing, okay? You can do those. And moving on to the next one is outbound. Okay, what is outbound? Outbound, remember, we can set up many outbound campaigns. If you only want to check any interactions happen from the queues is go through one of the outbound campaign you are running, you can filter out by the outbound campaign name. So I don't remember any outbound campaign name we have here. Oh, actually we have a customer support outbound campaign, okay? So you can choose any outbound campaign to use that as a filter. Then it will only show you the related information for what? For that outbound campaign related, okay? And also for the contact list, right? Because do you remember what is a contact list? That will be a contact list applied for some campaign to run, right? And you can say, okay, for any call that is a number in that contact list I already have configured in my platform, you can use contact list also as a filter to identify the information you cares about, okay? So this will be the outbound section as a filter. Moving on to the next is called journey. Okay, journey. You can see here, usually we need to tell you what is has customer journey data. That is a Boolean value. You can check or uncheck. If I check that, you can see here, show only interactions with customer journey data. Okay, I'm not sure if any of you already use this feature we offered for you for the platform. That is called customer journey. Okay, so what does that mean? If you want to check those interactions based on if the customer journey have if the interaction have customer journey or not. Okay, so actually this comes to the place. If I ask you what is customer journey, where you go? Go to the resource center, right? How about let's try to find that answer from the resource center. Okay, resource center. So customer journey, how about I just type in customer journey. Okay, customer journey. It already give me the list. Okay, so how about I open the first 3 articles to have a look. What is a customer journey? Okay, I just want to quickly show you a screenshot. What is a customer journey? Okay, so this is the customer journey, and this is a chat. Okay, one of your agent is chatting with one of your customer, and at here you see more like a my pin icon. So if your agent, while they are chatting to the agent, if he click on here, he actually be able to see either there's a customer journey associated with this customer or not. Okay, that means if that customer have a customer journey with your company business or not. Okay, for this example, you can see here, this person your agent talking to have a Facebook Messenger chatting with your company at the very beginning on September 30. Okay, a Facebook Messenger chat through the home insurance queue. Okay, and wrap up with a bill correction wrap up code. And 14 days later, and you have an outbound dialing reach to that customer again for those information. And 4 days later, your customer phoning to your agent again. For some agent, say from the Q home insurance with this wrap-up code, right? That will be what? The journey, okay, your customer journey with your business. You can see here 10 days later, you have a web message chat with that customer again through a different queue. That is a support queue, okay, support queue. And November 4th, you have an SMS message sent to your customer through a support queue. And finally, that is the one from this screenshot. It is live. You are doing a web message chat with your customer, this guy, and from the support queue, and the agent name is Martha West. Okay, so this is what. So if you are able to get a customer journey with your customer as an agent while you are chatting with them, actually you can grab all the information. Okay, you will know, okay, this customer already have a business with my company through the over last 2 months, I think 3 months. Okay, so you will get a historical information insights to know what is the thing I need to talk to this customer. Okay, so this is a customer journey thing. This sounds like the customer journey is not scoped to the interaction, but history of calls. It doesn't matter what interaction you see here. Facebook Messenger, it is a digital one. Outbound call, it is a call, voice, web message, digital. So this is what? A journey. You can think this is a journey, okay? This is what has been processed with this particular user. That is his history information, okay? It is a journey with your customer, you as a company. Is that okay? Yeah, it is not scoped to a particular interaction. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 interactions, right? With different interactions channel type, right? So this is a journey. So what it means, has customer journey or not? Okay, see here. What does that mean if you check or uncheck that? Remember, okay, because not every customer have a customer journey. That is not 100% every customer will have a journey with you, right? That is very easy to understand. If that is the first time your potential customer talking to you, maybe you have only a Facebook Messenger, you don't have a journey. Okay, journey is more like that English term. Okay, you need to have a journey. Okay, no historical information like you mentioned, and also another thing, maybe your customer not allowed to be traceable. Okay, so you don't have a journey. Okay, two things. Okay, maybe this is their first time contact you, or maybe they are not allow you to track down. Okay, then you don't have that. For example, let me show you another screenshot. Okay, I think that is from one hyperlink. For example, this one or this one. So this is a journey, okay? This is a journey. So what is that? You can see here, web visit. What is a web visit? You can see here, suppose that will be the customer who is visiting your company website, and he is visiting this page and doing some operations. As an agent, what can you do? You can even hover over on each icon. You can see the details, okay? And furthermore, then he move on to a page. Web page is new mortgage. I think he is considering to buy a mortgage with your company. Furthermore, you are the banking company. And even from there, you can see here, he try to fill in the mortgage inquiry form. And if you are the agent, if you hover over on here, you can even see what he is feeling about. So what does that mean? So if you have those kind of customer journey, this is another journey, right? You can track down what you can do. Maybe he stuck at here for the form filling, okay, for a question he don't understand how to fill that. As the agent, if you find out that potential customer, what do you do? Engage, okay, do the right time engagement to help this customer there, okay, to help him, okay. You can see here we even offer AI prediction, okay, for outcomes. If you can achieve that thing, okay, we will say, okay, this customer almost there, 90%. Just help them at the right time, you will make the deal, okay? So that will be the AI related with customer journey, okay? With AI prediction. So this is a thing. So actually, this part we developed from the Ireland when I'm working for the AI department in Ireland. So I developed this part, okay? So this is a customer journey thing, okay? Customer journey thing. So that means what? For the why I want to show you this. If the customer say, I don't want to turn on my cookie, right? You cannot trace me. Will you be able to see this? No, okay? No, not possible, okay? So that is for privacy, the customer may want to disable this feature, okay? So that is why. So I think after I describe this for you, you understand. As a supervisor or manager, why you want to turn this on sometimes? If you turn on this, it means what? Those interactions, you will definitely have a very reachable information, all right? Furthermore, for business analysis, if you turn that on, actually for those customers who have a journey with you already for over last 6 months, you can do a kind of customer success and analysis, right? For success story, right? Because you have a very rich information you can build a story with, or you can find the kind of potential problem you need to fix to make your sell the mortgage quicker, okay? So that will be the thing. So the last category is called external contact. External contact, nothing special. You just provide some information as a filter. For example, that will be something you try to contact before a contact list, okay? Something like that. So offer this is what? It is a big filters part. Remember where you click this icon, okay? Toggle filters panel, okay? Toggle filters panel. So then you have a lot of things to do on top of, okay? So this will be the thing, okay? So for any other views, they will be all the same, okay? You can change the time range, you can rearrange the columns, you can add in the new metrics you care about, because you can see how many you can do with, okay? A lot of. Choose the one you want for your particular business analysis idea, and then the last step is go into this filter panel, do the things. Actually, you will be able to find out the key part you cares about, and then this is the one. Okay, suppose you like this one, what do you do? Up to now, you can save this as a new view, okay, as a new view. So this will be the thing. Remember, I already talked about two things up to now after the break. One is what is a type of performance view, okay? For performance view, any view in the container, in the contact center container, that will be same, okay? It is including the historical information, okay? And the second thing, I talk about how to do the view customization, okay? That will be applied for all these views. It doesn't matter it is a performance view or not, you can all do the same thing, okay, to do the customization. So as what I said, this is performance view. How about if some views doesn't have a name with performance, ended with performance? Okay, you can have a look. For example, queue activity view. This is what view. You don't see the daytime picker, right? You don't see a summary part, right? For the all the things happen there. So what is that? This is a active view. So this is a real-time view. So usually this is, you can consider this is actually the dynamic view. Okay, it is changing at real time without a latency. Okay, you can see here up to now I have 6 ongoing calls for customer service. So if I ask you how can I do the customization for this view, I think you know, right? Here, remember, add or remove columns or rearranging or applying the filters. Okay, different views have different amount filters you can apply with. Okay, but that will be the place. And second thing, okay, for a view, when I say I want to have a detail view, furthermore, I ask you, say, give me a detail view for queue activity view. You should ask me a question followed with, okay, for which particular queue. So for example, if I go into the customer service queue, when I hover over on the type, you can see the name change to what? Queue activity detail view, okay? So it ended with a detail name, okay? So why? Because I drilled down to a particular queue. Then we will, using a naming convention, say this is a queue activity detail view, same as any other view. When I say, give me an agent performance detail view, you should ask me what? For which particular agent, okay? So this will be the thing. So this is a queue activity view for the customer service queue only, okay? For the customer service queue only. So this will be another thing I want to let you remember, okay? So let's have a look. The queue related view. So one of the most important view is which view? Is this queue related view, queue activity view, okay? So let's have a look. This most important one, then we will have a break, a 1 hour long break. So for queue activity view, okay, you can see by default, you will see all the queues that exist in your contact center. And up to now, we have a simulation network working heavily on the collections queue and the customer service queue. And you can see for the queue related statistic information, for example, how many agents currently on queue, okay? And you can see here 26, 16, okay? So that will be the thing. This is our real-time value. And if you hover over on here, you can see there are 3 agents available for all agents queue, 4 available on collections queue. Okay, this is all real time. That will be the first thing, remember. Second thing I want you to understand is what? You do not need to remember, okay? Suppose if your boss asks you, where I can get the information about the queue performance, where you go? You may say, oh, for this question, easy. Go to the queue performance view. But what I try to let you understand is what? You do not need to remember, okay? You do not need to remember, because what I want to give you an idea is what? How about if I'm currently under queue activity view? Then I switch to the tab for number 2. What is this? This is queue performance view, okay? So what I try to give you a understanding is what? Just playing around with the performance workspace place, okay? There is no single path for you to be able to go to one of the view, okay? They are interchangeably, okay? So that means what? After you get used to this workspace, you should be master of that. It doesn't matter where you start when you do some investigation, right? For example, you started from a queue activity view, try to find some bottleneck for your customer service queue. Somehow you may already end up to a performance view, or even you, after a few click, you already goes to an interactions view because of what? You are doing the investigation, okay? So you don't need to remember, okay, how can I find or make a solution, okay? Just playing around, you will be okay. And then now we move on to the one of the most important view I try to demo, okay? That is what? Queue activity detail view, okay? That will be, for example, let's choose customer service queue, okay? This view, okay? This is a queue activity detail view for customer service queue only, okay? Suppose you are the manager for customer service queue. I believe most of the time you will check this view, okay? Because of what? First thing, this is a real-time one, right? Real-time one. And the first part is this, like a summary one, but this is a real-time changing, runtime changing one, no latency. Currently, I have 10 ongoing interactions for customer service queue. Your agent is talking to them. And if you want to know the particular interactions, when you hover over on here, you can click onto this. And when you click onto this, you will see here the ongoing interactions for this particular queue, which agent is talking to which customer, okay? So this will be the first thing. This is summary part, real-time one, and hover over on each. If you click, you will be able to see the details, okay? That will be the first thing. And for those ongoing interactions, currently we have 10 interactions. And if, okay, remember, if you have enough role and permissions, when you click onto here, you should see 2 or 3 more options. One is you see here, view details. One is what? Monitor conversation, okay? So if I click onto view details, I will go into this particular ongoing interaction. You can see here, live, okay, live. And my agent is talking to one of the customers. This is an international call. You can see here, it is call to UK, I think. +44 is a UK country code, I believe. And for here, okay, remember, okay, because these are bots, okay, they are not really talking. So we disabled a feature. Is here, you should be able to see a drop-down menu. So again, if you also have the role and permission for your company, okay, to be able to see that menu, if you click on there, it will showing you for 2 options. One is called monitor, one is called coach. Okay, one is monitor, one is coach. So if you select that option, say monitor, what it will happen? You will be able to join this ongoing interaction silently. That is called monitor. Okay, you are monitoring. So then for what happened? For your agent and this customer, they won't notice there is a third people join in, okay? You can silently listening what they are talking about there, okay? If, okay, remember, if you have the role and permission to be able to do that job. And the second option is called coach, okay? Coach. If you select coach mode to go in, okay, both parties will be notified. They will hearing, for example, a beep sound say there is a new people join in, okay? You need to be aware of, and that will be the thing. They will know, okay, there is a third people join in. And also for the coach mode, you can talk, okay? You can talk. You are not muted, okay? You are not muted. So it is more like become to a conference call, okay? So that is the thing. Actually, you can see here, this call ended, okay? Not live anymore, okay? So this is a view for what view? So we will see this view again when we talk about interactions view, okay? So actually, this is already a view for what? This is an interaction detail view, okay? For a particular interaction, okay? Because you can see here, even you can see the interactions ID here, interactions ID here. So let me close this one. And suppose now we have 11, 12 ongoing calls. So if I click onto this menu again, you see here, monitor conversation. So what does that mean? Same as what I described. This is just a shortcut. You can click, then you will join as what? Monitor mode. Do you remember what is the monitor means? You can silently listening what they are talking about. So I won't click on there because I will trigger an error, okay? Because there's no real agent talking about there. We don't have the permission, okay? So you can imagine if I click onto this, I will get a pop-up say, you do not have the permission to monitor, okay, these. So that is because today we are in the simulation network. And now let's move on to the rest side, okay? Before we go for the break, let's finish this part. Again, this part is also a summary view, okay? For who? For all of your agents who working for this customer service queue, okay? You can see here, there are 16 agents on queue. One is off queue. And among those on queue people, there is an agent currently available to be routed for the next call. He is actually free at the moment. And that will be the thing. Again, first thing, it is real time. And you can also hover over. And if I click on to the 16 on queue people, the bottom part will changing to reflect those 16 agents. Actually, that is who is on queue at the moment, okay? Who is on queue at the moment. And what you can do, clear this filter if you don't need, okay? When you click onto that, it automatically applied a filter, say, list all the agents who is on queue. Now, moving on to the bottom part for this place. It is all of your agents who are a member of, who is a member of this customer service queue, okay? So actually you have many agents working on this customer service queue. You can see a lot of agents with different presence, okay, status. This is offline, right? He is not working at the moment, okay? This bots agent, he is not working for customer service queue. He is offline, okay? But that is a member of the customer service queue. And I don't know if any of you attended these previous two classes. Actually, what is inactive agent means, you can see here, for this customer service queue, I have how many? I have 66 active agents and 3 inactive agents. Do you still remember what does that mean? Okay, I quickly summarize that for you again. Okay, if you don't understand this, please go into other classes because this is a concept we introduced there. So as a summary, inactive agent means what? They are a member of customer service queue, but they are not working for this queue at the moment. So if you want to achieve this kind of configuration, what do you do? Put those agents temporarily not working for here, but you still consider they are a member of, for example, absence, holidays. You want to put them into what? Into 3 inactive state. But remember, okay, don't be confused. Inactive state is for what? For this one is only for queue, okay, for a queue level. You are not putting your user from the organization level into an inactive state. Not like that, totally different thing, okay, we are talking about here. For here, inactive agent means what? For this queue, you temporarily put that 3 agent. No need to work for this queue, okay? But they must be a member of. And for example, after 3 days holiday, when they come back, as the supervisor, you can click on here and reactivate them to keep working on this customer service queue again, okay? So this will be the thing. It means, not means they already left the company, okay? Not that inactive state, okay? So that is the thing you need to remember. So the one last thing, okay? As what I described before, actually, we disabled the UI today. You won't see some icon like this 3-dot button. It should be actually here, along with each of your agents. You should be able to actually do one most important thing you are able to do is click onto here, that 3-dot button. It should show you a option is either activate or deactivate your agent from a particular queue. For this case, it is customer service queue. So what does that mean? Suppose Alan, okay, Robinson. So for him, he applied for a holiday for tomorrow and this Friday, okay, this Thursday and Friday. As a supervisor, what can you do? You can click onto here, okay, deactivate this agent. It means what? He will be not actively working for this queue for next 2 days until you activate this agent again, okay? So you should see a button in your organization, again, if you have enough role and permissions. And moving on to the next is what? Status, okay? You can do a lot of filtering thing because you can see here, you already have 69 agents working for this queue. So usually, if that is a huge queue, you may want to filter. For example, I want to say, I'll check all the agents who is available in this queue only at the moment. Oh, only one guy, right? Frank, Tisha. Okay, so that will be a thing. Remember, click onto this drop down. You can do the filtering thing again, okay, for this table, And the last thing I want to say is this. When you hover over on the agent presence icon, you will be able to see their status. Remember, when I do the Resource Center demo, search the keyword for agent performance view, actually we see this place. You should see two options if you have the role and permission. Either put them online, offline, or you can change their on queue, off queue. Okay, on queue, off queue, or log them off. You as the supervisor should be able to do at around here. Okay, when you hover over on each of your agent, you should be able to do if you have the roles. Okay, today we have to block that thing to be able to show you here because they are the bots. You cannot log them off. Okay, they will not be able to log back because they are the bots. Okay, they don't know how to do that. So that is the thing. So before we go for a break, there's just one more thing. Okay, one more thing I want to show you, and we will keep on going from there later. So suppose if I go to the details again, for a particular interaction happen right now for this queue, customer service queue. Did you see this identifier? Okay, see here. This is unique identifier. Also here, unique identifier in the URL. Okay, and unique identifier here. They are all the same. Okay, don't be confused. Sometimes we call this is a conversation ID. Sometimes we will call that is an interactions ID. Okay, I think that is a kind of a legacy UI thing. Okay, you can consider. Okay, this is a conversation ID. Okay, because they are all the same. See here, exactly same. So what is this? When I hover around here, you can see here, it is saying what? Copy conversation detail URL. So if I click on here, okay, it will actually just copy this URL, okay? And within your organization, you can send in the chat box to share with any other people. For example, now we are all in the same organization. So if you click onto this link, you will get the same page as me, okay? So what does that mean? This is what? This is a particular conversation, and this ID is this unique conversation ID, okay? Unique conversation ID. So why we want to let you understand where you can get the ID? 3 different places, okay? This place, or even from the URL. Why? Okay, because if you want to be a kind of hardcore people in the future, okay, you want to be a master of Genesys Cloud 6 developer, you need to know the ID. For example, when you want to start writing a software even, to be able, for example, I want to get all the information about this conversation, what can you do? Grabbing this ID, you will be able to do some program, writing a code, sending an API request. We will offer there for you to retrieve conversation information, just simply sending in an API request and telling the endpoint, say, what particular interaction, okay, what particular conversation. That will be this unique ID will refer to, okay, reference to. So we also have a class called API class. So if any of you want to do that kind of thing level, this is the way, okay? So this is a UI friendly way from the performance menu, from the workspace, where you can, for example, you identified a particular conversation, for example, this one you cared about, and what you do next? Maybe you will send in an API request with this ID, you can retrieve all the information, even that is not showed up from this UI view, okay? Remember, as what I said, the reporting tool you are using here is not showing all the data, right? Because that's not possible. That is the first reason. Second thing, this page, we need to render the most useful information for all companies. Okay, so if you have any other kind of idea, say, can I get some information show up on this page for some other data related with this conversation, but you don't see from the UI level from here, what can you do? Go for the API. By sending a simply API request with the ID, you will get all the data. Okay, all the data we have, we will all give you there. Then you will make a decision, say, for all those data, do I want to draw a plot or generate a report? That is all by yourself. Okay, that is anything you want to do. It is capable. So that will be the thing for what? For the Q activity view for detail one, that is for the customer service queue. Okay, so let's take a 1 hour long break, and then we will go back to try to finish the chapter 2 for this afternoon. It will be easy because we already finished most of the important part. All other views, we will highlight the key difference. Okay, then other things will be all the same. Okay, so then we will be able to finish chapter 2, and the most important thing for this afternoon is we need to learn how to generate reports. Okay, but for now, let's take an hour break, and we will talk later. Okay. So there are a lot of information. Okay, there are a lot of information you can grab. And where is that data stored? Where is that data stored? In the Genesys database, right? Is that all the things you can see here? Just remember what I told you. This is what we try to show you. We think this is the most important information, but what you can do for more? API, okay? API, copy this conversation ID, interactions ID by clicking on this copy button. You can get more than this, okay? And what you want to do after that, that is totally up to you, okay? Up to you. So that will be the thing. This is what view? Interactions related view, okay? Interactions related. In our company, we use Tableau for on-site Genesys Informat. When you talk about Informat, it is engage, okay? You are not talking about cloud. You are not talking about cloud. Now that we are using GCX and have Canon reports, how would a user create a customer report? API, okay? API. So how to create a report, how to do the data aggregation, like what you used before, Informat. So you do not need to use that warehouse anymore even, okay? So please enroll for the API class, okay? Is that okay for running up? You do not need even for Informat now, okay? What is Informat job? If you still remember, ELT, right? You know that ELT, right? So ELT already done by cloud. When you migrate to this Genesys Cloud 6, ETL, yes, ETL, I speak the wrong order, right? So extract, transform, and I think load something. So ETL already done by Genesys on behalf of you. No need for Informat anymore when you do the cloud, okay? So quickly just for yourself, okay? Just quickly for yourself. This is out of scope. I just quickly show you, okay? Before you have to management Informat by yourself. But now, no need, okay? No need. Let me see. Let me see the category. I cannot see the exactly section. Analytics data, analytics speed, counting. Cannot remember exactly place, but if I say agree. So I highly recommend you go to this class, okay, for Yup. Sounds familiar, right? Looks familiar. Aggregates, query, what does that mean? Before, what do you do? The interval, granularity, time zone, group by. Remember group by, filter by, that is ETL, right? All the ETL thing you can do. So now you even don't need to do by yourself. Construct a query, send in the API request, use whatever language you prefer. It will return the aggregation matrix based on your request. You don't even run the Informart by yourself anymore. So you can imagine we have more like an Informart kind of idea already running on cloud to keep aggregating data on behalf of you based on your needs. Is that okay? Right. Things become much easier even, okay? So you don't need to maintain Informart. That is, we do somewhere, but that is not a Informart anymore, okay? Not Informart anymore. So all just by a simple API request, you get what you want, okay? So that will be the thing. So where well, I think we are talking about interactions view, right? Interactions view, okay? So that will be the thing. Let me check any other thing. So now let's move to another type. So our life will become easier for this afternoon, okay? So we will only highlight the difference. So now we talk about another performance view. It is what view? Skills related performance view. So this is the skills performance view, okay? So nothing special. Performance view means daytime picker, right? And for here, what is this? This is skill sets, right? Remember, you can see here a little bit small, right? Let me make this bigger. Look, I cannot. It doesn't enlarge. 1 second. Let me actually go to the real one. Full screen. Let me go to the skills performance view, okay? So what is this? This is a skill set, right? If you remember, that means what? There are 8 voice interactions has been processed by some of your agents, requiring they have English spoken language skills plus a ACD skill. That is America's skills. I don't know what does that mean, but that is a skill set that has been processed. There are 8 calls. Agent answered with those skill set they have. Okay, so this will be the view for that to view how many interactions has been processed with different skill set. Okay, different skill set. Oh, don't know. It doesn't work. Oh, a nested view. Okay, so that will be the thing. And for this skills performance view, okay, just one thing we need to mention for one thing. Okay, see here. I hope you can see that. There's a category marked as none. Okay, you can see here from this screenshot, it's saying that about almost 9,000 calls don't have a skill set has been processed. So that is the only thing we want to highlight for this view. What does that mean? Does that mean something goes wrong? No, okay? So for those 9,000 calls, that's totally fine, okay? That just means for those calls, didn't go through a ACD routing algorithm you configured, okay? It doesn't matter. It may be some queues. You only offer the customer a number, say, if you have questions, call to this number, okay? And it doesn't route use a ACD idea. It doesn't require your agent to say, can do English spoken or whatever, okay? Then those calls will all fall into which category? None, okay? None just means those calls get connected without asking for a ACD skill set. Just that, like that, okay? That is quite common, okay? Not every call you have a routing strategy to work with, okay? So that is the thing. Just remember what is a noun means when you see from a skill performance view. And also for any skill set, okay, there are 53 courses offered under English spoken America skill. You can click to expand to see, okay, actually that happened under which queue, okay? So that is actual information you can get. And actually, if you click onto this customer service, then you actually jump to which view? You jump from the skills performance view to a queue view, right? So that is the thing. Again and again, I try to mention, it doesn't matter, okay? Just playing around, you may end up to a different view, okay? So that will be very easy, okay? So now we move on to another view. I guess the supervisor and the manager actually should like this view a lot, because this is more like to summarize how the interactions going, right? What is the performance at the end? So you can see here, there are how many? 3,000 calls, about 3,000 calls ended with collection failed wrap-up code, right? So that we will see how many failure, okay? How many success. So that is all the success code, wrap-up code has been assigned for each of the queue by your supervisor and the manager. And this wrap-up performance view actually will be the place for them to check the performance, right? For the wrap-up code. And they will know for the wrap-up code how many calls are marked as failure. Okay, I think then they will have interest to look for the details. And also, just one extra question. What is this? In wrap-up timeout. You see here, there are about how many? Around 600 calls. Wrap-up code is inserted with in wrap timeout. If you still remember from the previous call class, this is filled in by who? Not by your agent. It is by the system, by the Genesys Cloud CX engine, right? That is because what? If you have an ACW mode configuration using mandatory discretionary with time box, it means what? If your agent failed to choose one of the wrap-up code, you allow them to choose within the time period before the time expired, then they will be kicked out from the time window in the ACW mode, and the system will say in wrap-up timeout. So actually, when you see anything start with in and all uppercase, those kind of wrap-up code is who insert that? System, okay? System. So for different reason, okay? And you can check the documents, okay? Remember, resource center, just simply put in this, you will get understanding what does that wrap-up code means, okay? So that will be the thing, because this is the one not created, customized by your organization. This is system filled in, okay? So that will be the thing. And I think here we have one more noun we need to mention for you. See here, noun, okay? So what does that mean? For wrap-up performance view, it is totally fine again, okay? So not every interaction when you finish go into the ACW mode, you would enforce or mandatory to ask your agent to choose a wrap-up code. If this is a non-field, see here, there are 4 calls don't have a wrap-up code after they finish. That's totally fine. It just means those 4 calls doesn't using ACW mode even. Okay, so that is usually sometimes when your agent finish a call, they just automatically become available again without going into the ACW period to let them to choose a wrap-up code. For those kind of interactions, they will fall into this category, okay? Fall into this category. That will be the thing. Or even this is what? One-to-one call. Okay, for example, your customer know your agent number. They just dial that, directly reach out to one of your agent. That will not use any queue thing. So then it will definitely not go into ACW. So that will mean there definitely will no wrap-up code selection. Okay, so that is a reason. So let me check how many things we left here. That is a huge chapter, right? 2.8, 2.9. Okay, so let's keep going. Okay, When I finish this one, we will take a short break, and then I will try to finish all others. So now let's talk about scheduled callbacks. Okay, this is a concept we mentioned again and again in different class. Okay, so I hope you already all know that. So if this is your first time attend this class, I give you a summarization. Okay, scheduled callback view. First thing, this is a view. Okay, this is to check the results, outcomes. Okay, this is not the place where you schedule the callback. So this is a view to show you all the scheduled callback has been issued, created by your agents. Okay, and from here, from this view, this is a scheduled callback view. Okay, so it will be a list of what? List of the scheduled callbacks for which day I want to call back to which customer. Those callbacks, this one is created by who? By your agents. So for this page, we try to describe the idea again. Agent owner. You can see here, there's a column say agent owner. So what does that mean? So for example, for customer service queue, Alan Hatch get a call. Suppose Alan Hatch is an agent and he got a call with one of the customer 3 days ago. And during that call, Alan Hatch say, I think I need to follow up with you 3 days later. Is that okay for 3 days later, same time as today? If the customer say, oh yeah, do that. And what happened will be what? Furthermore, this is Alan Hatch. He will schedule a callback 3 days later, furthermore, 2 p.m. Okay, and that will be appearing on here, the scheduled callbacks view. And agent owner or not, it means what? From the queue level control, you have a configuration to allow agent to taking the ownership or not. So what does that mean? If agent take the ownership, you allow agent to take the ownership, their name will appearing on this column. Okay, for the Alan Hatch, schedule that callback, you will see who is actually this callback owner. Usually it will be your agent, right? Because he scheduled that callback. So what does that happen? If the agent, for example, 3 days later, 2 p.m., the time he scheduled, he is actually, for some reason is not here to do that callback, what it will happen? So then it will come to this place, okay, agent owner, okay? If agent is this all callbacks owner, okay, we will do nothing. So just let that callback go, okay? No one will make that. And we will just wait until, furthermore, Alan Hatch come back, furthermore, 5 days later to make a decision. Either cancel this callback, don't do that anymore, or reschedule to another date. But that totally up to that agent, okay? You as the supervisor cannot touch that, okay? Because of what? You allow the agent taking the ownership already. You have a configuration for customer service queue to do that, okay? This is you as a supervisor, you already choose to do that. And if any scheduled callback don't have an agent owner, then what it will happen? So then as a supervisor, you can do two things. Either cancel that or reschedule that to another time on behalf the agent, okay? On behalf that agent who scheduled that callback. But because he is not the owner, then as a supervisor, you can change for a later date or cancel that. So then it comes to this view. You can see here. This is a supervisor view. Supervisor point of the view, when he click onto this three dot button for a scheduled callback, don't have an ownership without an agent owner, and he can do this thing, right? You can see here. Either cancel that or reschedule that, okay? Or reassign the callback even. You can see here. You can see that option, okay? So that will be only when you don't allow agent to taking the ownership, okay? Remember that. And again, you can see here, even for the scheduled callback, you can copy what? Copy conversation ID, okay? Copy conversation ID. So anytime when you will see this kind of copy icon, again, why you need that ID? I mentioned many times. It won't be very useful for the UI part, right? The ID means what? You definitely need to get that to go where? API, okay? API, sending a command, okay? Sending a command to grab more than this, okay? To grab more than the UI give to you, okay? So that will be the idea. So now let's take a 15 minutes break. And then I will try to finish out chapter 2, okay, with a quiz. And then we will go to the very short chapter number 3, but that is all about reporting, okay? So it will be an easy day for us. We will have 2 hours left for the lab for today, okay? So let's take a 15 minutes break. Just actually more like the question you asked. How do we do for cloud CX if we don't use Informant anymore? How can I achieve the same thing? This is the class, Genesys Cloud Analytics API. So for this class, it is not a 3 days API class, but it will only focus on what? Analytics. So this is actually how do you build reports using API, particular for any reports you want to build. That is called, now it is an analytics API, okay? You can see fundamental of API, how to observation queries, how to aggregate queries, right? This is what you want, okay? So this will be all the ETL. You can achieve same thing, but much easier for you now, okay? Detail record API endpoint, filters you can apply for the aggregation API, okay? So that will be the class for you, okay? I'm not sure if we already rolled out for this class, but okay, but for now, you can already enroll for API 1. API 1 will cover this. But if you don't want to spend that long time to learn API, that is a 3 days class, this will be the one for you in the future, okay? When we rolled out, okay? I think it already almost there, okay? So that will be the idea, okay? Aggregation, that is the thing you want. Observation plus aggregation will build whatever query you want, okay? ETL, bring you the data, okay? So that will be the thing. So everything will be there, okay? You see this sounds familiar, right? Granularity, okay? A lot of things. So you can imagine you don't need a data warehouse anymore, okay? So let's keep going. So for the rest of part, quite easy, okay? It is talking about what? Managing your team through presence and status. Nothing. It is just try to let you know where you can grab some information about on queue, off queue, right? Where you can grab some information like status, available, away, break, which view provide those information. One place we already see that. Under which place? Under the queue activity view, okay? Queue activity view. For the queue activity view, that is a list of all of your queues with what? You see here, how many on queue, how many off queue, those kind of thing that is listed, showed in which view? Queue activity view, okay? And also, another place where you can see, that is agent status detail view for a particular agent, for example, for this Alessandra. And from this view, you can see here, how many time, how long he spent in the login time, on queue, idle, available, away, break, meal, not responding. So that will be this thing, okay, for a particular user, okay? So that will be 2 different places. You can check in your team or particular agent presence and the status, okay? Nothing special. From now on, everything will be quite similar. It's just for different statistic metrics we calculate on top of. So for DNS performance view, just only one thing we want to mention here. So first thing, usually, okay, for DNS performance view, you can see actually what is this. This is all your company's DID number, right? And how many calls is offered from this number? For example, this is customer service queue number. You can see there are 12 calls. Nothing special. First thing, this is performance view. You have all the same thing you can check. Remember that, customization. And only one thing we want to mention here for FYI, okay? That is one thing you need to remember here, okay? This sentence, okay? The DNS can be a number, a Genesys Cloud username, or even a SIP device, okay? So usually, okay, when you open the DNS performance view, you would see phone numbers. But just remember DNS, the routing target, not necessary to be a number always. Sometimes you may route to who? Route under, for example, agent name, right? And the agent want to use which phone number to answer, or we use what SIP device to answer. That is up to them. If you route to the target is a username, right? Rather than to a particular number. The DNS can even be what? A SIP device. What is a SIP device? A SIP phone, right? For example, there is a phone, cell phone. You just route it to that phone. Okay, it doesn't matter who pick up the phone. Okay, so remember, okay, it's not necessary. Okay, the view you see here must be all the numbers. Okay, this is type of the DNS DID number. It is just a type of the DNS. Okay, so that will be, don't be confused if you see something is not a number, maybe for the in your contact center view. Okay, so that will be the thing, DNS view. And same as all other views, if you see that can be expanded, just click on that. You can see what actually this number is assigned for which queue to use. Collections queue. Okay, collections queue. And that will be the thing, nothing special. And for here, when I show you the screenshot, you can even guess what this screenshot try to tell you. You can apply on filters, right? And actually, you can see here, this is what you applied a direction inbound and you filter the telephone number for this. When you click the performance view, same thing, you can achieve same thing if you already know how to use filter panel. Okay, when you go to this view, you can actually no need. Okay, how about if I just open a, for example, agent performance view, and then I start applying same filters, you will get the same view. Okay, I hope you get the idea. After you know how to use filters, you will be able to configure whatever specialized customized view by yourself. So let's see how many things left. Okay, dynamic view with pre-built dashboard. Okay, so this will be something not covered in this class, but I just want to show you one of the most important view. Maybe you have the interest to know this. So this is a view, the name is what? Predictive routing overview. Okay, predictive routing view. So what is this? So actually, I'm not sure if any of you from your company already start using predictive routing method. Okay, routing method. So this is actually a outcome, a result to show you after you turning on predictive routing to help you to do the call routing, what happened. Okay, what is the performance? I would say. Okay, you can see here predictive routing view, and for here you can see, because using AI to do routing on behalf of you, you actually don't know why that AI select agent for the amount of your 500 agent. Why I pick agent 34 to answer this call. AI will do using neural networks, right? Very popular models nowadays. So you cannot tell actually why he make that decision to let agent 34 to answer the call. So why this view is so important? At least you want to know after I turning on the AI to help me to find an agent. Will that be even better or even worse, right? So this is what you can see here. So after you turn on the predictive routing, average handle time dropped significantly, okay, 75%. So it will make your agent have more time to answer next call, okay? So this is a huge improvement, at least from this screenshot we can see for a particular company after they turning on AI to do the predictive routing, okay? So this is a view for you to see, okay, how predictive routing method perform, okay? So this will be some other new views you will be able to see if you have predictive routing lessons, okay? So that will be just some extra things I want to let you know. Moving on to the next. When you see this, customizing, okay? Customizing. We already talked about this many times. I won't go in here again. I think you can already remember the almost 4 steps. Daytime picker, right? Daytime picker, whatever. You see here, filter by date, filter by medium type is what? Under the interactions filter panel, right? Definitely here, right? You can filter, show, hide, or arrange columns, right? And you can filter by interaction type, survey type, outbound type, journey. Remember what is a customer journey? So this is actually, I already talked about all the things this morning, okay? This morning, okay? So if you want to do that as a review, okay, you can check the ebook, okay? And moving on to the next, we will almost there to start talking about how to generate a report. You already see this, exporting the data. That is the report we allow you to generate from the UI level is either a PDF or CSV file, okay? We will cover that for next chapter, okay? So that will be the thing. And last page, you can see here, other dynamic views and dashboard. So what does that mean? That means we do not cover everything, okay? There are some more things that is only for some kind of dedicated feature you really cares about. For example, if you want to know more information about outbound campaign related view, where you go next? We have a class called outbound, okay? From that class, if we will talk about everything about outbound settings, including the outbound campaign related view, okay? You can learn more from there. Or if you have interest to know the evaluation interactions using quality dashboard, actually we see that a little bit. I showed you an evaluation view, right? Remember, number of the evaluation has been performed by each of your agent and what is the average score and a critical average score. And if you want to know more about that view, and that will be covered in which class? WEM, okay? A class dedicated talking about quality management. And for more things about monitoring real-time and historical adherence, that is what? For workforce management, okay? Workforce management. So we have a class. This is WEM, workforce management. From that class, we will talk about not just for the configuration for the WFM tool, but also after that, where you can view the result, okay? So those related view dashboard, you will be able to see here, see this place, okay? Because for the simulation network we have for today, we don't have the workforce management kind of thing, okay, to be able to show you for any meaningful data, okay? So that will be included from these 3 other classes if you are doing the job for your company for this particular kind of feature, okay? So that will be the thing. So we finally finished chapter number 2, okay? So let's take a quiz first, okay? To see if we already understand everything, okay? Please leave your answer in the chat box. For question number 1, it is a true-false question, okay? When you select a dynamic view, it opens in the same workspace area. Is that true or false? I think this is a very first thing I mentioned. Yeah, definitely true, right? Remember, the new tab, the empty tab, will be replaced with the one you choose, right? Question number 2. You can display a performance dashboard in full screen mode. Easy one, right? No one will give me a wrong answer, right? That is the purpose almost like, right? A dashboard. I want to make that to a full screen to always check that. Maybe even put in a big monitor on a wall, right? The number 3rd question. Dashboard can be made public only. Yeah, definitely false, right? How many mode? Public, private, or share with a certain amount of people you choose, right? Question number 4. What is the main purpose of using widgets in a performance dashboard? It's also easy, right? It cannot be any other things, okay? Question number 5. Which of these views would you use to see how long an agent spent in each status? So easy. If I want to check agent status, I go to agent status view, okay? That's nothing, okay? This question is more like Next one. Which of these views is used to view in progress and completed interactions? This is another simple question, okay? Checking interactions, go to interactions view. I won't need to wait for your guess, right? So this is not a question, I think. Next one. In the skills performance view, in the skills column, when you see a non-category, what does that mean? I talk about that, right? Which one? Skill performance view. If there's some course is offered in the non-category under non, what does that mean? If that means wrong or something, nothing, okay, it's all okay. Just mean that is not using ACD routing, right? Number 4, okay? It is totally okay, okay? Not I recall using ACD ideas. Next one. The wrap-up performance view shows specific wrap-up code assigned to one or multiple queues, true or false. Any other people? Just one people give me answer. Any other people give a try? Yeah, it is true, okay? If you remember, wrap-up codes can be assigned more than one queue. For example, customer supported, if this is a wrap-up code. I think that is a meaningful wrap-up code can be assigned to any queue, right? So maybe if you click the expand icon for that wrap-up code, for example, customer supported, you may see multiple queues using that, right? So that is true, okay? Next one. If the agent who owns the callbacks is unavailable at the scheduled callback time, the callback waits the agent to become available again, true or false. We talk about that. If agent taking the ownership, any other people? So I talk about that. Actually, you all get a wrong answer. Is that true or false? So if the agent who owns callback means what? Agent have the ownership. So if agent have the ownership and he is actually or she is not available for that one, what will happen? Even you are the supervisor, you cannot touch that. You need to wait the agent come back to make the final decision. Do you remember that? You as the supervisor or manager, you can touch that when what? When you are not taking the ownership. So true or false? It is true, right? Yeah. True, okay? True. Should be true. So the last one. And also, again, where you configure this? Agent ownership. Queue level, okay? So if you cannot remember, okay, I cannot show you because today we don't have the administration manual I can show you anymore, I think. But please refer back to the second core classes, okay? Contact Center Administration class, we talk about that. So under queue configuration, okay, I cannot see that under this container, okay? But if you attend any other class, there is a queue configuration, okay? You can configure there, okay? For this ownership thing as a supervisor, if you allow or don't allow. So the last question. DNS can be a number, a username, or even a SIP device, true or false? true, right? Huh? Who said false? This is the thing we try to mention. Remember, we have a DNIS performance view. DNIS usually will be a phone number. Not your company use DNS as a number. Number is just one type of DNS. Okay, it can be also can be username or SIP device. Okay, so DNS including 3 different types. It only means, for example, most of the majority of companies they will only use number as a routing target. But the routing target can be also a username, for example, one of your agent name. I want route a call to Alan Hatch. I don't care what number he used, what phone he used. Or you can route to a device, right? A SIP device could be a soft phone, okay? Is that okay? But we are talking about this view, okay? This view can including all these 3 different things in the statistic results, okay? So that will be the thing. And now we have our first lab for this chapter 2. Nothing, okay? After you check the lab menu, you will see actually for today, okay? That is actually totally depend on your guys if you want to do the lab or not. But I highly recommend you give a try. But talking about the lab themselves, nothing in here, okay? You can see log into Genesys Cloud. Create a dashboard. That will be something interesting, right? Just at least give a try. Create a dashboard as what I showed you, demo to you. And copy editing a dashboard, that is nothing. Click the any other people's dashboard, click the option say duplicate, right? Adding a dashboard to favorite, that is just the one I make a star, right? Mark a red star, yellow star to make to my favorite. Deleting a dashboard, nothing. If you are the owner, you create the dashboard, you will be able to see the delete option, okay? So for today's lab, I will say again, easy, okay? But I highly recommend at least you go into the workspace menu, clicking around. And for lab 2, see here, nothing, okay? Monitoring queues, monitoring agent, monitoring interaction. This is what? Just asking you to click onto different views, different queue views, different agent views, different interactions views, okay? So that is very, very simple, okay? But why we recommend you to do that today? Because nothing you will get the wrong thing, okay? And also we have a simulation work, so you will get meaningful views, okay? There are really some ongoing interactions. You can have a look what level of information you can get from different views. So that will be the chapter 2. We finally finished one of the biggest chapter, and let's take a one last 15 minutes break, okay? Because chapter 3 and chapter 4 are all very, very short, okay? I won't give a break between chapter 3 and 4. This will be our last time to do a 15 minutes break, and then I will try to finish all the contents delivery at one go, okay? So as what I promised today is not that hard, okay? One last 15 minutes short break. Although we have a major chapter for how to generate a report, but we already finished about how to customizing a report actually, okay? So that is the why, okay? It will be easy. So what is reporting? Okay, what is reporting? I think you all know that, right? So that is something for what? For historical information, right? For historical information. And let me see any other place. Okay, so I will just demo that all in one go. Okay, reports. So remember this morning and this afternoon, we spent a lot of time to do what? To do the reviews, right? View related things. This is a lot of views, right? We do either customization or we navigate around. And how about report? Report is just built on top of those views or any customized views. That is actually the same thing. Okay, so for example, now I want to turn my hand agent performance, my carefully selected metrics and the filters I applied. Oh, that is a simple one. Oh, I forgot to save a complicated one. But That's okay. Okay, I just make some random parameters. Anything, okay, because this one doesn't have enough information. Let me just quickly make one, okay. Furthermore, from the Q performance one. Okay, I like this one, and I want to change the daytime range to previous 7 days. I want to add or remove some columns. Whatever. I want to add one more filter in. Try it. How about like that? Just this, okay? So up to now, this is a customized report, okay? With what? With a summarized part, because this is what? A performance view. Suppose I'm happy with this, okay? I'm happy with this view. What I can do? I just have two different directions from now on. Either save that as a new view, that is something we already do, okay? Another one is this button, okay? Toggle export panel, okay? So this will be the place to export this as a report, either CSV file or PDF file, okay? So that is why we already spent a lot of time actually building a report we try to generate, okay, later. Either save that as a view or generate that as a report. So first thing, give a name for the file, okay? Nothing, okay? You know how to do that. Second thing, recipient. You can see here, enter up to 10 email addresses, okay? So here come to a magic number 10, okay? 10. Why only 10, you may ask me, okay? Why only 10? How about if I want to share this report when that's ready for download? I want to send to 12 people. Why you only give me 10 email addresses up to 10? So how about if you want to send to 100 users? Will you fill 100 email address here one by one? Not a correct thing, right? Not a correct thing. So for here, that is not that purpose for you, okay? To send to a large number of amount of people who cares about this report, okay? So that is up to 10, usually some key people. And if more than 10, what do you do? For example, you are employee for customer service department. What do you do? Usually for your company, you have a what? Customer service group email for your company, right? So anyone is a member for the customer service group email. When a new report sent to that customer service group email, any member for that email group will get the email also, okay? So that will be the correct thing. If you want to send to a bunch of people, okay, 200 employees, here is not the place, okay? Here is not the place. And then you can choose what? Format, okay, format. PDF or CSV file. And then we come to here, schedule, okay, schedule. You can see here, by default, the frequency default to run once. So that is why we can generate a report for what? Either on demand or periodically recurring. So that will be the two options you can do. So run once means what? If I just don't do any other thing, I don't do recurring, and now I already can click the export button, okay? But for here, I want to let you understand one thing, okay? I think some people already understand. This is what? This is what job under the hood after I click the export button. It will trigger a job, okay? Don't be confused. After you click export button, it not means even for run once, you will get a pop-up say save the file. No, okay? Because of what? Depending on how much data you want to compute on top of. Furthermore, if this is a monthly report, a 31 days or 30 days long statistic value you want to include, and also including a lot of filters, it will take times, okay? Usually it even will take an hour to generate the report for you, okay, if that is too complicated. So that is actually triggering what? An ETL job, okay, under the hood, ETL job. It is a job, okay, remember. That is some computing engine need to work in there for the things you care about to calculate on behalf of you. So it takes times. Even for on-demand run ones, when you click the export button, the only differences comparing to the recurring is you are triggering a job right now, okay? So actually, because this one is a so simple one, we will maybe even cannot see the progress bar, okay? But let's try, okay? Just checking my screen sharing very carefully. When I click export, I will quickly go to the inbox to check the generation stage, okay? So let's have a look. So export this for me. And then I go here, see here, 93% already, so quick. Finish, okay? At least you'll see a progress bar, but because there are no too much data I need to calculate on, and also including what? There are many queues we don't have a simulation network running on top of, so that is not too much data we need to work on here, okay? So that will be the thing, okay? So if I just click the download button, because this report is already generated, the symbol changed to ready for download. So I can just simply download that PDF manual, okay? So that will be PDF reports, okay? So I already have one, okay? You can see some place is empty is because what? I don't have any actually agent working there. So actually that brings to a field. If you say, okay, why you want to show the empty one? That is totally up to you. Okay, where? See here. There is another part called formatting. Okay, if you don't like this way, let me just try to say exclude empty rows. Okay, I never tried that. Let's just do it one more time. For this one, 93%. This time it's slow. Okay, so I think they need to process some excluding thing. I don't know. They need to build a new report for me, okay? Now this time you can see no other any queues without any statistic value can compute with, okay? So that will be the thing, okay? So what is that behind, the idea behind of that? So you have a kind of a little bit control of the formatting, okay, when you generate a report. So let me go back here, keep going for here, okay? So this is what? Run once, okay, very easy to understand. That is on demand, okay? But remember, okay, how long? I don't know, depending on how much data and time period you use, okay? So again, then it means what? Let me show you some screenshot, okay? So it means for a generation, if that takes some time, you will see something like this, okay? It is 48%, okay? During that stage, for example, somehow you say, oh, I don't need that report anymore. Stop computing that. I even don't need to download after you give to me. Then you can see here, in progress, you will have this symbol. Very easy to understand. We don't need to go into the details, right? So if you click onto this kind of symbol, you will be able to cancel because this is a job, right? Very easy to understand. If this is an ongoing job, you can cancel the job. So it's more like cancel export, okay? So then it will not compute anymore, okay, to save the resource. And once that's ready, you will see something like this, right? And I click the download button before I download the PDF report. And also remember, here is what? It is your inbox. It is your inbox. And if there's a new things come in, you will see this orange alert icon showing you some unread messages. Okay, this is quite common as how you use any other application. And also, okay, see here, copy export ID. As what I mentioned before, anytime when you see a unique identifier, you definitely that it will be useless in this UI view, right? Because it do nothing, right? But what you can do, you can grab this ID, go for programming, right? You can retrieve more information there in the future, okay? For example, this is an ongoing job. It is still on progress. How do you know when that's ready? If you know the ID, you can write a program to checking the job status. If either that is in progress or completed, then you will know, okay? So if you want to write any software, even to automate this process, never log into the reporting supervisor tools here, okay? So you can develop some reporting tool even by yourself. So that is why sometimes you would like to know the ID, okay? You would like to know the ID. That is just one example. There are many other reasons you can think about. And there's another thing I want to mention, but we need to go for the recurring one first, okay? So now, rather than the on-demand one, how about I want to generate a report, okay? Recurring, okay, recurring. So for now, I want to do that, for example, for daily recurrences. And by default, it is generated through Monday to Friday, 5 p.m., every day, 5 p.m., weekdays, okay? So how about I want this report generate every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 5 p.m. So you are scheduling, if I click the export, you are scheduling a job, right? Triggered at 5 p.m. every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. This is how you configure a periodically recurring job for report generation, okay? So this will be another thing. But I want to mention one thing, okay? For today or any other day when you still have this lab to use, if you try to practice generate a recurring report like this, if you really put in an email address or more than one, whatever, if that is a real email, okay, you will actually get the reporting every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5 p.m. Okay, remember to what? Cancel the recurring reports you configured when you don't want to use this virtual machine anymore. Okay, otherwise you will keep getting the reports. Okay, and maybe you need to ask me for the help. Okay, I forgot to cancel that job, recurring job. Can you stop the machine sending the reports to me? Okay, you will fall into a trouble. Okay, if you already, for example, this image will allow you use for 1.5 days. After that, you need to ask me to help you to go into this system. Okay, until this fake account for your one get wiped out. Okay, otherwise, if I don't help you, you need to keep getting the email for next 10 days, okay? Next 10 days, for example, okay? Just remember, if you're really testing the recurring one, okay? Cancel that when you don't test that anymore, okay? And remember, don't put any kind of email you make up. Maybe that will be a genuine one sent to some people, okay? So that will be the thing. And the last part is formatting. I already demoed one formatting. Is what? Exclude empty rows. You have more than that. Okay, for example, include summary row. What does that mean? You are saying including this part, right? If that is a performance view, you will see this option. Okay, if that is not a performance view, you won't see this. And do you want split by medium time? For this case, actually, it is an example I can make to you, right? You have voice type interactions, chat type interactions. That is, you just say, okay, when I export that as a PDF menu, I want separated by medium type each, okay, not unified. Say how many offered. I want say they are listed statistic values separately. You can make your choice, okay, here. So this will be some few options you can control with for the exported file, okay, and also for the languages. And one of the common thing is what? This time zone thing, right? Time zone thing, and the duration format, okay, for millisecond, second, whatever. But for the time zone is very important, right? For example, you generate reports for European country people, you may want to choose a European country time zone. If that is US, you want to change. And if there's any other thing, any other place have a time, it will change to reflect with that time zone's time, okay, correct time. So that will be the thing. I think this will be useful, okay? So this will be few formatting things, allow you to control from which level, from this supervisor tools, okay? Other than that, if you ask me, can I do something in the report for whatever thing, I would only let you know is what. If you cannot see from here, we cannot help you. So if you want to generate more advanced level report, how to do that, right? Analytics API, okay? We have a class for that, okay? We have a class for that. So this will be the reporting thing. And when we talk about recurring reporting, for example, generate daily or every Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, then it bring up to one thing, okay, for here, actually. this inbox. Just assuming, okay, because this is the on-demand one, just assuming this is a recurring one. This is for this Monday, generate a queue performance summary. This Wednesday, another one. If you click onto this three dot button, say delayed export, okay, remember one thing. If you do that, and this report is generated from a recurring job, we will delete all others that generated from the same job previously on behalf of you, okay, for better management, because your inbox may fill up with many reports. Something is on demand, some report is periodically, okay. So if you delete one report, export, okay, we will delete all others that is using the same schedulements, okay. Remember that, okay. But if you delete that without attention, what you can do, always regenerate that again, because data is always there. It will always in your database, okay. So you can just regenerate again, that's fine. But if you delete one, we will delete all four from the same recurring schedulement. And there's another 10 magic number I need to mention for you, okay. So for any report, okay, any report, after it gets exported into this inbox field, okay, it will be stored here for 10 days, okay, up to 10 days, okay, 10 days. So if you forget to download that, the system will delete that, okay. So it won't keep buffering in this inbox one, okay. So it will keep for next 10 days, okay, next 10 days. So let me see any other things I missed. I think that's all, okay. The last part for this chapter is alerts, okay. I cannot demo to you because I just checked, okay. I think for any other participant, if you already joined the class with me for the contact center one, I demoed you there, okay, before we go to this class. But that will be very simple, okay, not a hard thing. Let me show you, okay. Similarly, like how I build a dashboard, I have a widget and I can do a warning thing, remember? Similarly, you can do a same thing based on a matrix. We have three major categories. For the more conversation metric, presence metric, employee engagement metric rule, okay, you have to choose a bigger category, and then from there you can choose what statistic value you care about, and you can define a threshold. If that threshold, you go out of that threshold, you can say, okay, give me an alert, okay. So let's have a look from the screenshot level, okay, from the screenshot level. So the first step, you go in where? You go in the workspace and move on to the other container here. And there's a part called alert rules, okay, alert rules. If you go in there, you will see a plus icon, okay, very small, okay. I don't think that is a correct screenshot even, okay. This is not the place. You should click this plus sign, okay, this one, bigger one, okay. So that will be the thing for you to create a new alert rule, okay. After you click that button, it will ask you to give a name, okay, give an alert rule name. And also, this will be one of the three metrics category, okay. You can see here, the demo we are using is what? Presence related metrics rule, okay. After you choose this type, because this one you want monitoring based on agent status, okay. That is a type of presence metric. And then you can click create button, okay, add button. And then it will showing you a place to build your threshold, okay, formula. Furthermore, for agent status, it will ask you to work on for what target. And we will choose, okay, furthermore, queue or user. And for the demo before, we will choose an agent, furthermore, just for yourself, who you logged in as student user, because that will be easy for you to get an in-app notification, okay? And then what you will do, you will say, furthermore, when I change, when this user, no matter you or any other people you cares about, furthermore, when this user change to away status more than, furthermore, 5 seconds, because you want to just test, okay, it doesn't have a very good meaning, but you want to trigger that threshold, say, if the user switch to away status more than 5 seconds, then you move to the notification section, say, how you want to be notified when the thing triggered. Okay, so you can see you can either send SMS, email, or even called in-app notification. What is in-app notification? That will be, for example, you configure the people is your supervisor. Your supervisor will just see an in-app notification pop up somewhere here. Okay, when one rule get triggered. Okay, so then that's it. Okay, so after that, after you create that, you can see from the list of the alert rules, you will see, and you can see the definition I showed you this morning. Okay, for the very simple description, say when it will get triggered, and by default enabled is no. Okay, and when you think, oh, I want to turn on this, okay, to monitoring this thing I created for alert rules, you click onto the 3-dot button, it will show up for you. There is a kind of this button, you can check or uncheck, enable or disable. So when you enable that, okay, you will see enabled change to yes. So anytime when this definition meet, okay, then it will trigger, for example, an in-app notification, SMS, or email to the person you configure to be notified. Okay, so that will be the thing. Okay, not that hard. Okay, not that hard. And also, when that alert get triggered, where you can check the detailed information, see here, still in the inbox. But for this time, it will under this icon. Okay, this will be all the alerts you can see. And when you click onto this triggered alerts, you can do something snooze, right? Something mute or delayed. Okay, so I think you understand what does that mean. Okay, that will be the thing, how to configure some alert rules. Okay, and it will appearing on where? Remember, in this inbox, currently I'm under the export part. This will be the warning part, alerts part. Okay, alerts part, because I haven't triggered anything, I don't see that. Okay, so that will be the thing. So we finished chapter number 3. Okay, finish chapter number 3. Let's see what is the learning chat we need to answer. Okay, question number 1. Genesys Cloud enables you to export data from a view to CSV or PDF format. True or false? Easy. Definitely true. Okay, two format will allow you, at least from the UI level, you can do that. Okay, for coding level, whatever way you want. Okay, so question number 2, how many days will automatically delete the report from your inbox? Which one? After how many days, if you haven't downloaded that or you already downloaded that, but we will automatically delete the generated reports from your inbox after how many days? Any people? Hello? Anyone? Huh. I talk about that. Maybe you all didn't hear that? Maybe? So what I just said, for the inbox generated reports, either you forgot to download or you already download. It will be automatically get deleted from your inbox after 10 days, okay? After 10 days. If you forget to download, just simply regenerate that again, okay? 10 days, okay? It will keep in your inbox for 10 days. Next one. Which the following alert rule types would you configure to notify your supervisor when an agent remains in a specific presence beyond a defined threshold? It's easy, right? For presence status, what rule category you want use? It is almost like nothing, okay? A simple question. Which one? Yeah, definitely the last one. Okay, presence metric rule. Okay, you definitely can find from the presence metric rule. You can do whatever. For example, when the agent away or go for a break, busy or on queue, off queue, any status your organization have. For example, this one. Okay, for example, busy, away, break, meal, meeting, training for my organization at the moment. Okay, you can set up based on those kind of alerting rules. That is a presence metrics rule. Okay, presence metrics rule. Question number 4. Which of the following steps is required before setting the conditions for an alert rule in Genesys Cloud? Before setting the conditions, what do you need to do? I think that we give a name and select a type, right? Easy, right? So the last question, Genesys could allow user to specify multiple delivery methods such as email or SMS for alert notifications. True or false? It's definitely true, right? SMS, email, and also in-app notification, right? In-app notification. So that is true, okay? So that will be the chapter number 3, okay? And I think you know what is this try to do, ask you to do. The lab will just asking you to try to generate a report, right? Generate a report. I already demoed for you, okay? So that is not that hard. So now let's go to the one last chapter. It will be even shorter, okay? So this is the thing we will talk about some views related with what? You see here, campaigns, okay? Campaigns. So what is a campaign? Do you remember? Anyone? No, the campaign that is outbound campaign, okay, outbound campaign. So where you see those related outcome results or real-time monitoring, okay, so where we can find that. So that will be the last thing, okay. So for your outbound campaign, first thing, you will be first time go out of the workspace. You see here under the workspace you have a menu selection, say what, outbound campaigns, okay, outbound campaigns. That is a standalone one, okay, outside of the workspace. You can see here currently for this simulation organization, okay, you can see we have 2 actively running outbound campaign, okay. One is called new customers outbound campaign, one is sales outbound campaign. And you can see at real time the connection rate, new customer 86%, sales 50%. That's quite kind of a reasonable, okay, for this simulation, because usually when you do cold calls to some people, they even don't know you, to do a sales cold call, I think half of the people even not answer that, right? Didn't pick up, okay? So that is what the reason. And for this one, it will be what? The campaign, outbound campaigns menu, okay? When you go in here, you will see what? Remember, this is a real-time one. You will see all live outbound campaign, okay? Running at the moment, it will be showed here, okay? And then, how about if I go into one of the particular campaign, for the new customers one, you can see here at the moment, 86% ongoing, okay? So what does that mean? Through the contact list you provided to let the outbound campaign running, it already caught 80%, 86% of the numbers on the contact list you provided there, okay? And it is using what dialer mode? Predictive dialing, okay? If you don't know what is a predictive dialing, this is something we talk about for the contact center class, okay? This class is only try to talk about the view for viewing the results, okay? So first thing, again, this is what kind of view? Real-time one, okay, real-time one. So up to now, for this campaign overview, is up to, it's already 88%, okay? So up to now, all the statistic summary for this campaign you are running at the moment, okay? And also wrap up details you can see here. Over last 24 hours, how many calls ended with a wrap up selection for extension guaranteed collection made or whatever, okay? So this is all changing at real time, even this is a summary view. And moving on to the bottom part, you can see here, interactions tab. So this is what? This is ongoing interactions, okay? This is up to now, your agent is talking to what user you provide, what user have a phone number you provide from the contact list you configured for this outbound campaign, okay? You can see here, pause 10 seconds, auto refresh, okay? Every 10 seconds, it will refresh to checking the latest information. And when you click onto here, view historical information, it will flip to show you the historical interactions, that is completed interaction, okay? So this is the one. Usually the outbound campaign will run for several days, so that is why you can see here, either today, last 7 days, or last 30 days, depending on what you want to check, okay? And if you click to this place again, view live interactions, it will go back to this ongoing live one, okay, for interactions. And for the scheduled interactions here, okay, scheduled interactions here, what is that? That is callback, right? For the moment, do the outbound dialing, your agent talking to that potential customer, say, okay, can I call you back for the later tomorrow, okay? So this will be the list of the scheduled callback information here, okay? Nothing special, okay? So this will be the thing for you as a supervisor where you check ongoing outbound campaign condition, okay? What's happening on there, okay? Situation, okay? And that will be the thing called outbound campaign view. And we have one more view we need to check. That will be going back to this workspace, okay? Workspace. And under here, you can see there's a view name is campaign performance view, okay? Campaign performance view. This is another view, and with what? Performance. So when we talk about this is the performance view, it means what? It including the historical information, right? Historical information. And same thing, you can do whatever, but you can see more than that 2 outbound campaign, including the 2 ongoing one, collect new customers and the sales one, right? This will be any other campaign already finished, right? Some outbound campaign already running finished. So this will be what? Campaign performance view. And if I ask you, say, how can I go to a campaign performance detail view? Then you should ask me, say, for which campaign, right? For the more ongoing one, sales one, okay? So then I drill down to a campaign performance detail view for a particular campaign. For this case, is the sales outbound campaign. And from here, you can see what? Statistic value just for that campaign up to last 30 minutes, okay? So remember, okay, for any statistic value, okay, no matter the bar chart, we see that before, okay, and also for the interval here, okay, that is all calculated on a 30 minutes time interval for the statistic value to compute to say how many calls dials within that 30 minutes time bucket, okay? So all the statistic value showing here is calculated based on a 30 minutes time interval, okay? So that will be the thing. So I think that's all for the things we need to talk about for you. For the outbound campaign detail view, that will be the live one outside the workspace, and the campaign performance summary view, that will be the view under the workspace again. That will be the one, okay? The one I just showed you. And then the final one is what? Campaign performance detail view. If I drill down to a particular campaign, that view will be considered as a campaign performance detail view, okay? So that will be all the things I talk about. And same thing you can apply. See this long list, that is what? Customization, okay? You already see this customization many times, okay? Nothing special. So that comes to the end. So let's do one more last quick quiz, okay, for today, okay, and also for this class, okay. So that will be the thing, okay. Let's check how many questions we have, okay. Question number 1. In the campaign performance summary view, you can search for campaign associated only with the selected division, true or false. I'm not sure any of you know what is this question want to ask you about. True or false? So actually that is true. So why? So actually it is not testing the view concept. It is testing what? What is a division? So anyone attended the previous class, or if this is your first class, that's fine, okay? But this is a very good question design here, okay, developed at here. Although it is asking you a view, but actually it is testing your knowledge to see if you understand the concept of the division for Genesys Cloud CX platform, okay? So please go to check the second class, Contact Center Administration. We have a chapter talking about what is a division, how can you create a division, and how to use the division, okay? But for now, as a summary, I can tell you, division, okay, is a thing to help you to segregate. Remember, okay, segregate objects within a same organization, okay, but from different contact center. Supposing you have a Milan contact center and a Chicago contact center, that is all belong to your organization. Then you can use this division idea to create a Milan division and a Chicago division. And then, for example, campaign is an object allowed to be segregatable by division idea. So then you will make sure, for example, you have a sales campaign for Milan. You have a same sales campaign also set up in Chicago. They won't conflict, okay? They won't get conflict because you have a division to set up as a boundary to know it is under which division. So then that question comes to what? Campaign performance view, you can search for campaign associated only with a selected division. That comes to true, right? Because your campaign is segregated by divisions, okay, to make sure no confliction, okay? Question number 2. How long does it take to the bar graph to update for the campaign performance view? What is the time interval we use to calculate the statistic value? I just mentioned 5 minutes ago. Which one? How long? What is the time interval we use there to compute this? What is the gap? 30, okay? 30 minutes, okay? 30 minutes. Just remember that, okay? That is how we compute against these, okay? 30 minutes, okay? 30 minutes. So that will come to the end, the last slide, okay? Last slide. But you can see here, nothing, okay? Nothing. What is this requiring you to do? Go to the outbound campaign view to have a look. That will be this one, okay? And then to go where? Checking campaign performance summary view. It is which one? It is this one, okay? Campaign performance summary view. The last one, checking the campaign performance detail view, which anyone, when you drill down to a particular one, this is called campaign performance detail view, okay? All like that, so simple, okay? And that's all for today, okay? All for today. We covered all the things, okay? I hope you have a better understanding for those supervisor tools we offer there for you, okay? So Now let me leave down my email address here, okay? han.wang@genesys.com. So if you have any questions related with this class and also the live, okay, if you have any questions, you can always feel free to send an email to ask me, okay? And now it is a time for live, okay? For live hours, we have plenty of time. I think how long? Uh, Not too much, okay? I think we have 1 more hour to go. So actually that is the time, totally up to you guys, okay? So we have 1 hour left, okay? And you can choose either to start doing the lab if you want to do that, or you want to switch to your company work. It's all up to you, okay? You want to do the lab later, you can do that, okay? And or you want to have a break, okay? It's totally fine with me, okay? Just let me know, okay? Just let me know if you want to sign off. It's okay, okay? So at the end, I thanks for all joining with me, okay, for today's class. I hope you have a happy Wednesday, okay, for all the guys. I hope you get some insights of how to use the report and analytics tool. And if you want to know more for some people, where you go next, okay? API, analytics API, okay? If you want to master of that to make that automate, okay? Building a pipeline for your ETL, like what you used before, okay? Where you go next, okay? So I hope you're all happy with the class I'm delivering. But for now, that's the end, okay, for the content delivering part. It will go into the lab hour, okay? I will stop